And we are live here. And to say we have a special guest is not doing this man justice. We have an icon in the house back on this show. We talked to him the first time when he released his first album, and now he's back with the second album. Please welcome back on Animal House Radio the iconic, legendary, and extremely talented Dennis Deyoung.
Please pick up your souvenir portfolios at the door as you leave the building. And
Oh my God.
remember to genuflect.
I would, but I have too much arthritis in my knees.
Can you see all this?
Well, I don't have that. I just got collectibles. You got the real deal stuff.
Anyway, yeah. Oh, arthritis. Jesus, I got it in my neck from playing the accordion and playing piano all those years. It's just, who invented it? Who invented stuff like arthritis? I don't get it. Was it frogs? Maybe.
I don't know, but see, that's an argument against accordion lessons going forward.
Never. And if you got daughters, watch careful of the bellows.
There you go.
Things get caught.
Always a pleasure to speak to you, Dennis. And I tell you what, I got to tell you, the last conversation we had was so amazing. It was so much fun, and like when you get and I mean this in all sincerity, when you get the chance to speak to a living legend, it's a big deal, especially for me.
Listen, if you keep this up, I'm gonna have to go upstairs and get another hat. I hate all that stuff. I mean, when people say that stuff to me, I think, are they just saying I'm old? But no, it's very nice to hear that. But I'm a kid with an accordion beetle dreaming. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
All I know, and I'm glad over all these years, some people like you were made happy by some of the things I was involved in. What a wonderful thing for a 74-year-old, because most of the 74-year-olds that I know, people are trying to shuffle them out the door. Isn't it about ready for you to go into a home? So this is good.
I got to tell you, from our last interview, I quoted you all through this pandemic, and I made everybody laugh. But I didn't take credit. I made sure I gave you credit for it. You had one of the greatest lines. You said, "The CDC is everybody's booking agent."
That's it, baby. They want to know who's check with CDC. And still, look, now, a year later, more like a year and a half, the CDC and the NIH and the ZDW and the WHOPB, all those, nobody knows nothing. I told you that last time we talked. I kept saying nobody knows nothing. They're just making shit up. That's all they're doing. And, the higher up they get, the more they got to shoot their mouths off. So I think for all the people that are watching this, a couple of things. Number one, humanity could stand to really follow the golden rule if they want to make it better. That's it. Try that one. Do want the right? Unless you're a masochist. I don't want to hear about it then. But and how about a little more? How about a lot more humility and a lot less hubris? Because when people start shooting their mouths off about anything, I think you should take a step back and go, "What's that guy's deal?" or "What's that girl's deal?" And so when you're listening to me talk right now, I put Google right next to me and say, what did he just say? Let me see, who is this guy? He's a jerk. Okay, so nobody knows nothing. And one last thing about that subtle science, you know what that is?
Remember what's that?
We're there you and I were there during the Big Bang. Maybe not. The Big Bang goes off. Boom. Hey, guess what? Science is settled. There it is. And it's big. Science isn't this big. It's put your arms out. It's bigger than that.
Oh yeah.
And the only thing that isn't settled are these humanoids running around the earth trying to figure stuff out, scratch and sniff. But they're really only at the edges of them. So it's all.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'm not as smart as I pretend to be, and that's the end of my speech. But this is my gift to humanity as I stop making albums, because kids, nobody knows nothing.
I remember talking to you and saying, I mean, I like the fact that it was probably easier for you because you had the album to do, so you kind of kept busy. So you coped pretty well, I guess, during this whole thing. I remember, and I know this is the beating a dead horse, but the first album that you put out was supposed to be the last one. And I don't think somebody like you, not to speak for you or anything, when you've been doing it as long as you have, it's hard to just walk away.
Not as hard as you think. This is what see. People look at me and they go, "Ah, got him figured out." I'm an illusion. I told you in '77, I'm a grand illusion, and all this guys, that pretend to know something, make music, and stand up on stage and have people idolize us. I think, just you. I got lucky here. I got an accordion, wrote some stuff you like, but let's not get carried away with it. Um, it's easy to walk away because it's too hard for a 74-year-old to do the amount of work I had to do. I did it all by myself in the studio. There's my board.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
wow.
getting busy. And because it was the teeth of the pandemic, and I worked by myself after it hit, and it's not fun. I always wanted to be in a band, never wanted to be a solo artist. Tommy Shaw quit Styx in '83, gummed up the whole works, left the four of us standing there holding the bag, trying to figure out what the next move was. And my next move was to say, I'm replacing him. The other guys wanted me to replace Shaw and continue. I said, I don't want to do that. I thought, well, this is a pretty nice combination. Shaw and Deyoung doesn't suck. I mean, not so bad. So, I want to be in a group. I want to work with musicians. The fun thing is the collaboration when ideas, they pick you up when you don't have something, you pick them up when they don't have something, you come, you make something together. It's a beautiful thing. So to be in this room by myself, I'm a lonely man. And try to make music that competes with what's behind me.
Right.
Following this?
Yes.
Really, all that is that's just a green screen. That's the Gene Simmons boot closet.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, yeah, nobody cares. It would be different if I could release a record, radio would play it, find an audience, and people would pick and choose what they like, and then they'd go on their way. But not anymore. People don't even care about albums, especially my audience. There's a percentage that they claim they do. But when people ask me now, where's volume 1? How do I get volume 1 and volume 2? I tell them it's available wherever fine music is stolen. So that's it. That's basically it. There's no point to it. I'm doing all the work to have a very small audience to find.
Yeah.
And, I just look at it and I think I've said a lot, haven't I? Oh, I said stuff. People are saying, is he ever going to shut up and leave us alone? I am now.
Well, there are people that still want to hear from you. 2060's Volume 1 was a successful album, and I'm sure that was a lot of work. You had Jim Petterick collaborating with you, which is always a plus, and you had a fantastic record company. I think it was Perugino Serafino.
Serafino Perugino. Yeah.
I got it mixed. Okay. But you did that, and it was you're like, I'm done, and then what prompted you to do this one? Because now, when you're going into the second one, that's got to be. Were you worried, like, how do I top this?
No, let me tell you the story. Serafino said, Dennis. He's from Italy. He wanted me to make a studio album in 2017, and offered me a deal. I says, no, why would I do that? And then, not Petterick, his name is actually Peterick, but everybody calls him Petterick. His name is Jim Peterick, and he's my neighbor. He lives 3 blocks away, that way, and I live in a gated community just to keep him out. So he kept saying that, you got to let the world hear your music. I think I've told you. I said, have the world text me, Jim, because I don't believe in any of that bullshit. So anyway, he convinced me. So we wrote a bunch of songs because I was really fearful of not having good songs. So we overwrote. And so I gave the album to Serafino, and he says, I want them all. He wanted all the songs. I says, you can't. It's one album. Let's figure out the ones we like. And so he says that he would double the lira involved.
Oh, okay.
In the 2 albums. It was not my idea. Okay. But when I'm not a math major. But when somebody said they're going to double the guarantee, I can add. So
Yeah.
I said, because 7 of the songs were recorded already. I already spent the money on them, right? Not that I'm going to make any money back off of them. You make nothing, okay?
You were basically getting reimbursed, right?
And you can't. It's impossible for people to really recoup on albums these days. People my age can't do it. Why do you think
Yeah.
Townsend and all these people are going? Everyone's going to because because it's silly. So they gave me it's just divide them into two. Well, we divided them into two, and then last year during the pandemic, I wrote 4 songs by myself to enhance the other 7. So that's volume 2, and it turned out good. I think it's better than the first one, although there's some good stuff on that first one.
I like the first one, but I kind of agree with you. Like, I have 2 favorites. I love the Isle of Misanthrope.
well, yeah, because it's everybody's favorite song because the people like you who interview people like me and the people who write about this music still have that predilection for that kind of music.
Right.
What's the proggies and in the classic rock guys who use prog stuff, and that's their wheelhouse. So whenever I talk to somebody who interviews
Yeah.
me, that's their wheelhouse, right? Or they like rock. That's nobody goes, what are the great ballads? No one's asking me that question. So
Right.
yeah, I love Misanthrope. It's good. I
Yeah.
like it. It's one of my favorites.
And then you had Tom Morello with the Last Guitar Hero.
I did.
Yeah. You missed
That
your call.
I thought I recognized that.
But I know it was about, as they said the last time, that you wanted to make sure you stuck to your rock roots on this one.
Whatever the hell that means. Listen. Here's what I try to tell people, but people just they believe half the stuff they hear. That's a mistake. You don't believe half the stuff you hear. Lady, the first song anybody really appreciated, Styx, of course.
Right.
6 seconds. That's a pop ballad, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
And
yeah, it became.
yeah, and suddenly the crashing uninvited power chords and rock guitars jump down your throat out of nowhere. But really, the first thing I had success with him, we love it when he goes, "Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling." I like it, and it's a piano. It's a guy going like this. That's not a prog song. Like, what are you talking about? That's not really. Well, the guitars come in and it gets going. It's rocking. But
Right.
really, Come Sail Away, 2 minutes and 10 seconds of me at a piano singing a ballad. Now, if when it Come Sail Away with the guitars again, as Pete Townsend joins us. Pete, I'm not giving you a dime, by the way. So, and
But you were an innovator in that sense with those songs. Nobody really did it like that. Like it starts out like it's going to be like a love song, which it is in a sense, but then it kicks into high gear.
Shame on me for finding love in my life. Everybody was like, there's a lot of people. They don't make soft songs, but don't you make it syrupy. Don't you make it cheesy. Don't you make it schmaltzy. Which to me says, I've never found love in my life. I'm never going to get it. It makes me uncomfortable to deal with those emotions. I think, well, that's your problem.
Right.
Don't lay it on me. I found love. I'm with the same one 51 years. So shut up and go away. Because I'm 74 and I don't care what you think of me.
Well, on the first album, 2016 Volume 1, you had that song with the good old days, and I kind of welled up on it. And you go, well, I'm going to change the name of it to the Welling Up song.
Look at you I love misanthrope. See, but you've given into your feminine side. You say, I see that love and it's everything. Listen, misanthrope people, proggies. The shortest album in the history of music?
No.
Prague's Greatest Love Ballads. Not a song on it. So look, if that makes you uncomfortable, I understand it. But for me, it's important to write about what you know. And I know something about love. I've had it in my life. And to express it, it's nothing that you have to be ashamed of. You shouldn't.
Not at all. Yeah.
But like this, close the lid on this son of a bitch.
Yeah.
There next to you, that's,
You're a national treasure. We got to keep you going. But with this album, 2016 Volume 2, in general, what is the writing process? Do you sit down and actually try to write, or is it like as you're going through your day, something will come to you?
You know, I have one of those brains. This is dumb, stupid luck, everybody. I found out as life went along, not everybody thinks the way I do and has that connective between this thought and that thought. There's something there that I didn't have anything to do with. And so when I hear chords on a song on a radio, I can sing something to it. I can sing the new melodies. I don't know. I don't know how I do that. It just happens. And so you'd be surprised to find out that unless there's a goal
Right.
at hand, I don't care. I don't have to go to the piano and sit down and write a song. I know guys that they have to be doing that all the time for a feeling of self worth. I don't need that. It's not. I don't need to be on stage to know who I am or to feel like I'm whole. When I was younger, yes, I did everything in my power. I kicked and screamed and shouted with my arms flailing above my head for strangers to notice me and appreciate me and make me feel like I was loved. And that went away after a while. I says, you know, you're not going to feel that way. If 10 million strangers feel that way about you, it still don't mean anything. You must feel this from within.
Right.
So that's not going to do it. And if I go out on stage, you know what I'm thinking about? Not that they love me, but don't screw up. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking about. Don't screw up. And that's not fun. That's a job.
Right.
Oh, let me make sure I'm great at every second. So I don't have to go to the piano and write songs. Jim Peterick,
Peter
that's
Rick.
my buddy, who I owe a lot for, forcing me to make these two albums. If you don't like these two albums and you find me to be a boorish pain in the ass, I'm going to give you Jim Peterick's personal phone number. You can call him up. But
How much I know they had a prod you to do the first one, but how much prodding did it take to do the second one? Or did you get a little bit more motivated this time around?
it was money. I told you. I was,
Oh, the double the lira. Okay.
yeah, double the lira, and you can have the rest of these songs. I thought, well, extra cheese on my pizza. So
There
yeah,
you go.
I did it because I had already done most of the album and was never going to get any compensation for it. So I thought, well, what am I, stupid? You know.
Yeah.
And then I let them choose the title. They like Volume 1 and 2 because they couldn't think of anything more pretentious. So there it is. But Jim Peterick, he never stops writing. I swear to God, he's
Yeah.
writing. And so yeah, lyrics will fly into my head, but in order for me to get a melody or something, I sit down at the piano and I tinker. I get chords I like. I stick notes on those chords. I put words on those notes. And what do I do with them? Well, I tell you my point of view about my life and the world around me. And I'm going to hope you and you and you and you find yourself in my story. That's all I
Oh,
do.
absolutely.
That
Everything you do is relatable, it's not a complicated composition. Yeah. And I understand what you're saying about you don't want to record anymore because there's no such thing as the traditional record company like there was with the A&R guy and all this. And it's the whole irony of this business is, and I've noticed this, and I'm not like a recording artist or anything. I'm just a radio guy that's been around a long time and I appreciate music. You used to have to sell records to tour. Now you have to tour to sell your album. It's like a total reversal.
it's worse than that. You can't sell them because
Yeah.
schmuck is that's somebody who
Well,
pays for something they get for free. That's a schmuck. So we're asking all the people in the world to act like schmucks when they can just go someplace. I hear it. There it is. It's radio on demand.
yeah.
What's wrong to one here? Oh, pick that one. Remember when you were listening, your favorite song came on the radio? If you wanted to hear it again, you had to wait around a
Right.
couple, 2, 3 hours and hear it again. So that's no longer. And in that process, I started thinking about, well, they're making an app to replace us. Every one of us, you, me. That's it. That's what The Last Guitar Hero with Tom Morello was about. It seems like it's about the end of the guitar player and who's the last one to make us, ooh and ah when he goes, wow, okay, fine. No, it's really half about that, but it's half about when do we as human beings make a bargain with the technology we create? Because if not, you're not important. Neither am
Yeah.
I, because that's where we're heading. So
Yeah.
the way I look at this is, I made this record. I don't mean to be flipped that it was all about money, but good
No,
grief.
hey, listen, you deserve to be compensated. An iconic figure in music. And I know that you didn't start out to do it for money, but I
No,
mean, if you're gonna get, if you're gonna ply your trade, why not get compensated for it? Oh, we lost you. We lost the audio. You're messing with me, aren't you, Dennis? We lost the audio. We'll get it back in a second. We'll get Dennis back in a minute. Don't worry about it. There you go. Nope, still no audio. What happened? Yeah, we lost the audio again. It was going great. I heard you fine. Now all of a sudden, did you hit a button by accident? Yeah. I don't hear anything. No. Try to come back in again one more time. Sorry about that. We will hopefully get him back. There
better.
you go. I
Okay.
hear you now.
You know what it was? It would say the message flashed. Your host has muted your mic. So what happens is on an iPad, but only on this restream thing. On Zoom, when a call comes in, it just blanks it for a second. The minute you get rid of the call, it comes back on. And now this one went like this. On, never coming back.
Well, this is a military grade encryption. It's a little more technical. That there's higher security value.
So
But
Putin's
my apologies about the technical glitch.
no, I got a call. It was from somebody. I didn't even take it, but Putin's watching this. That son of a bitch.
So now, I mean, this, supposedly, but I still think you're not done. This album is your swan song. But what about performing live?
I plan to go on next year.
Oh, you're gonna go out and tour, right?
Yeah. God willing, and the creek don't leak. Look, nobody knows what's going on. You can rip your mask off because the numbers are going down, and you'll swim naked in the pond if you like. Me, I'm going to just sit back and just be careful because I don't need you coming to see me and then getting sick. That would not make me happy any more than it would if I got sick. So I just need some time to process what's going on. And my theory has always been first bands out of the chute, big alimony payments.
Yeah, right.
That's what I think. So I don't have that problem. And I want to tour. And if I want to record a song, right? Because I own a recording studio. I'll come down here, I'll record it, and if I like it, I'll make it available. But you ain't getting me to make an album, is what I'm saying.
Right. I see.
I said it. I always from the beginning. I'll make no more solo albums. It's too much hard work.
Yeah.
For a little reward. Now, just so you know, and your audience understand that, you can, even if you went and paid for a stream or whatever it's a download. I don't know what they do anymore. If you get a CD from Amazon, there's no way I will make a penny on this. Not a penny, ever, because it's impossible now to recoup. This is a fact. So people who make these records normally end up putting their own money in it just to do it.
Well, I hear a lot of artists making money off of Spotify and stuff from their stuff being played.
Wait a minute. Bullshit. No, Spotify doesn't pay anything. You're reading the wrong articles. Were those articles written by Spotify? No, they don't pay anything.
Really?
If you get streams, they give you 85 cents. Here, Go to Woolworths, get yourself a hot dog. I'm telling you.
Woolworths. Wow, we're showing our age, Dennis. Even I know that, because we used to have them here in Jersey.
Yeah. Well, that's where you used to get, hot dogs for 25 cents. But that's how old I am. How old are you?
I'm young. I'm 53.
Well, when I was 53, I was your age. Anyway, so there you go. It's not a business where you make money. I guess Taylor Swift and even all these people, like they have to be richer. These young pop stars, why not? If they
Right.
bring in joy, give them some money. But my thought about them is, I can't imagine what they would be worth under the old business model where people paid for your CD.
Right.
Publishing was all available, trackable, and but streams, and then you can stream stuff for nothing, right?
Right.
So it's insane. Kids, look, I got mine. I don't need your money. I don't give a shit.
Right.
For all the
Well,
young musicians who are trying to bring you joy, because music brings you joy. You want to know why? Because what's your favorite movie? You're not going to watch it 100 times.
right.
No. Your favorite book? You're going to read it 100 times? No. Your favorite song or album? Easy. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
No.
Yeah,
You're
it
not going
makes
to go to
sense. Yeah.
You're not
But
going
see,
to go
you
to
guys did it. I got to give credit to groups like Styx and all the 70s and 80s bands because, there was no social media back then. And the only way they knew about you is if they read about you in a magazine or saw you in concert. And you guys were selling out arenas and all this other thing. And there was no social media. So I think it's a testament to what you guys did back then because it was a lot harder because nobody, you know what I'm saying, to get unless they heard you on the radio or read you in Kerrang or Cream magazine.
Hey, there was a one-way social media. It was called radio, and it was the greatest gift to musician ever. Because here's what it did. Unlike the internet ski,
Yeah.
a song came on the radio. You're sitting in your car. You're in the kitchen. A radio on top of the thing. You're over at a friend's house. Come pop. Ooh, what is that? I like that. Hey, you like it? You went to the record store and you bought it. You brought it home. Now on the internet, you got to search it out. Because everything's a niche. Oh, here's one-legged Albanians, hard rock with pop metal. I don't, what is that? So that's like homework. The internet. It's your responsibility to figure stuff out. Radio. Where you going? We're going to the beach to look for girls. Song. Like the song. Go buy it. That's it.
Yeah.
Tell me that isn't true. And so now
It's
that was
unfortunately it is. It's sad, but it's true.
one-way
Where,
social media. Now
where were you the first time you heard your songs on the radio yourself?
I was in prison. No, I was in my car. No, I'd heard my music on the radio in a real perfunctory sort of way on a radio station that didn't matter.
Was
But
it
the
in a
first,
bordello?
pardon me?
Was it in a bordello?
That's what I get for having you read my bio. No, first time Lady got played on an important radio station was on WLS. And my wife and I were sitting there because we were told it was going to happen. And they played it. And we danced in the kitchen. Guys, I wrote it about her. And so ever since then, when something good happens, we try to get to the kitchen at some point and dance in the kitchen to celebrate it. And sometimes we have to break into people's homes because we're in the war. But nonetheless.
Oh.
So yeah, that was. But look, music on the radio. I still, if I pull up to the Walgreens to get some medication, okay, radio comes on, the song comes on. I'll sit in the car till it's over. I'm not going to take that for granted.
Right.
It's just me on the radio for the millionth time.
You still appreciate it after all these years. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's shameful. And all these people that say, if you wrote a song and it's a huge hit, you go, oh, I'm so tired and bored with playing these songs over. And I said, you must have got in the wrong profession, you knucklehead.
Uh,
Who does? I mean, you work your ass. Here's the thing: such arrogance, and it's a lie because most of these people uh, would have given their left nut to have their song on the radio to have one hit at one point in their life. You
right,
can't take it for granted. You have to be thankful that it happened to you. When I
right,
play notes on a song, people scream. I think, well, that was the bargain. That's a good one. I'll take that one. Right? I mean, I play, they scream. That's the Beatles. They played, I screamed. This is it. So
right.
any people who fake like they're tired of their if you didn't write the song, how much is that dog in the window and you're tired of singing it? No. That's a different thing. But if you wrote it, you got to be saying, God bless me. Look what happened.
Yeah, yeah. For those of you just joining us, we're here speaking live with singer-songwriter Dennis Deyoung about his new album, 26 East Volume 2. Dennis, let me ask you, with this album, what do you want with people who listen to it? I mean, are you still writing to your core audience or you're trying to incorporate a newer generation? What do you want people to take away from this album?
It's the same audience I've ever had, and that's me. The people who would get right down to brass tacks that do this, they're trying to ultimately please themselves and think,
Right,
well, let me get that right. Because if you're chasing the trend, the zeitgeist, the flavor of the month, you're going to be behind. By the time you come up with it and write it and get it out, it's changed. To thine own self be
be true.
relatively. Let's not go too far with that, because if we get a good look at ourselves, we're not going to like it. But I wrote the song for me and this album, and I'm hoping you find yourself in my story. That's all there is to it. Like I told you, it's not rocket science. And speaking of rocket science, did I just think there's a petition to ask Jeff Bezos not to come back after he fires himself in space? It's funny. Anyway,
Please, I won't get my packages.
yeah. Oh boy. So there goes. Yeah. So here's the thing. I try to please myself,
Right.
and then if I go in there and try to please an audience, whatever it is. First of all, Styx's audience was so wide. Babe on one side, Mr. Roboto on the other, Renegade over here, Come Sail Away, Castle Wall. We made all kinds of music and we're successful at it. So I don't know who it is. I just want to get a collection of songs that would please people to say, I'm going to put that on again because whatever that guy said there, I like the way he said it.
Right, right. No, well, I mean, ultimately, you have to be happy with the product you're putting out and hope that other people share that sentiment. I guess that's the bottom line.
That's all that ever is, because you can't figure out what the audience wants because they don't even know. Most of the audiences for Styx want great songs with
Yeah,
good records by good singers, because that's who we were. Good songs, good singers. That's it. The style of it, you've got a part of it. They like the proggy middle 70s or that thing about. There's the people who love the ballads. There's the people who love this. Tommy wrote a song, Boat on the River. He wrote a song called Boat on the River. And it was on a demo tape, and he played it for me. He says, that's not for Styx. I says, yes, it is. It's people are going to like that song. So he did it like kind of a Eastern European song with accordion and mandolin and tuba. It's the biggest, it's as popular as anything we've ever done outside the United States.
oh
Be-
wow.
because why? Well, because it's good. And is there a Marshall stack on it? No, JY didn't play on it. He didn't like it. I thought, well, good for you. 27 million people on YouTube like it.
Wow,
So
yeah, that's
you see what I'm
that's how
saying?
everybody's getting judged nowadays, believe it or not.
Well, because
You
you
know.
can see numbers. They're open to the public to look at. I don't know if they tell a true story or not. But right now, it's a pretty good barometer for people, because they got choices. Not watching that, and they can just make their. I'll go see that again.
What would
So
you rather do? Sell 8 million albums of 26 East Volume 2 or have 8 million hits on YouTube?
Oh, that's not even. I'll have 0 hits on YouTube. It's free, for Christ's sake. Give me the album sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because one thing, YouTube pays something, but please,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you had 27 million spins in 1980
That
on a
was
song on a
that was
radio,
astronomical. Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
retired. That's ridiculous. Okay,
Yeah.
do I sound hysterical? I'll lower my voice. It's ridiculous. No, I mean YouTube views, and then you can go
Some
see what.
people value them more than the album sales. It's weird. I get a lot, but it wasn't always the cut and dry answer that I thought it was going to be. A lot of people, because that social media is the new, what everybody wants to, that's what everybody's leaning towards. Even TV now, Netflix and all that stuff. Nobody has cable anymore. It's basically all these apps.
They're working hard, it's true, to find an app to replace you. You're the last guitar hero. With the tools of your trade, the last guitar hero. So
Yeah.
genuine, handmade. The last guitar hero with your big old Marshall stack, gone like a record store and never coming back. See what I did
Yeah.
there?
Yep.
So
I wish they had records. I miss going to those. A traditional record store, like you used to walk in and get whatever was out for that week. And believe me, I actually have somewhere, I have a copy of uh, a Styx album that was actually signed. Because we deal with veterans on American Force Network. And when they came to New Jersey, we got to meet them, and they were very gracious to our veterans. As always, I know you appreciate our servicemen and women as well. But it was a big deal for me growing up.
Vietnam veterans, Back to the World. My second solo album was dedicated to veterans. The largest Vietnam veterans parade ever held anywhere was held in Chicago.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was held in Chicago in 1986, and I was on the committee for that. And I played the Grand Park concert, the only one to play. And we raised money, and it was a thrill of a lifetime. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said in the song Black Wall, the people in the armed forces, they stand by the door and guard the gate to keep the barbarians out.
That's for sure.
But like guys like me can go, we can go to over Burger King and get a fish sandwich or whatever we're going to do. But you got to have them. Got to have them, baby. And so
Yeah.
people up there and they said, well, I'm going to defend this country. God bless them.
I've never seen you perform live. I've seen videos, and you're a tremendous showman. You're a performer. Obviously, your voice has held up all these years. It sounds stronger than ever. Due to the pandemic, when you finally get out on the road and tour, is it going to make you appreciate? And I know a guy like you have been in the business as long as you have. You probably can't appreciate what you do more than you already do. But is it going to make you, this pandemic, make you going to appreciate what you do even more, knowing that the bottom could drop out at any minute again?
No,
And then you'll,
because I can't appreciate it any more than I already do. I have no room left for the appreciation that fans, which is why I kept suggesting the last 5 or 6 years to my Tommy and JY that we do one last Styx tour. But
I really hope that happens. I mean, with this pandemic, there should, will we never see a mending of the fences with Styx?
That's them. It's Tommy and JY. It's not a band. It's 2 guys and me. Say it to yourself again. There's only
2 guys and you.
And me. It's 3 guys. Yeah. And when I got sick in 98, they wanted to go on tour. And I said, give me 6 months to get over this thing. Because I went to the doctor. Listen to this. See these? I have to wear them even in the house because of the light sensitivity I got from that virus that I got in 1998. And so when I went to the doctor, I kept going to doctors. What's wrong with me? I have no energy. I'm dying. I lost my sense of smell and my sense of taste. They looked at me. They just stared at me. Now, that's over 20 years ago. It's 24 years. 24 years. Well, 23. And so, yeah, I still suffer from the effects of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It sounds like you had COVID back then.
It was some sort of flu virus. My wife and I both got it. She got
wow.
I didn't. So yeah, I can't appreciate it more than I already do. what the fans have given me and my life and my children. It's what can I say to them except for
Right.
hope that I brought you some modicum of joy by what we did. And I keep saying to the guys, Tommy and Jay, let's do it. No, no, they don't want to do it. They're happy doing what they're doing. What am I going to do? So
You know what? You would have thought that this pandemic would have made them say, life's too short. Hate. It would. I would have thought it would have been a wake up call and say, you know what? Let's bury the hatchet. But
there's a
I
line.
guess.
Yeah, there's a line in my song. Little did we know that goes. Seems the only way we learn is when it's the hard way. That's true about human beings. They're
Yeah.
perfect. They're going to fix the problem 24 hours after it's too late.
Yeah.
Every time.
Until you hit rock bottom and then they sober up. Yeah. Or they
It's
wake up.
it's too bad for the fans. Anyway, send your cards and letters, not to me.
Yeah.
My bags are packed by the door. Can I show you where they are? Never mind.
So where can if all the fans and especially our servicemen and women overseas, I believe it's available on your site.
Don't go to my site. It's meaningless. I don't even go there myself. I don't like me that much.
Okay.
Go wherever fine music is stolen. For God's sake, Amazon,
That's
iTunes,
another one. That's another quote I'm going to quote you on.
Amazon, iTunes, Spotify.
Uh,
You know what? There's a whole list of them. Yeah, I think if you go to don't bother with my website. I don't go there much. Go to Facebook. You know why? I write everything that you read. You'll laugh your cojones off. I mean, you'll just laugh because it's not a stooge. I don't hire five stooges. Oh, things are great. There's sticks with a picture with them with their food last night.
yeah.
What? That's nonsense. When I got something to say, I say it. You know, when people send you pictures of their food, that's like listening to your album cover. What's wrong with you? Use that one too.
I tell you, you missed your calling. You should be a professional comedian because you have me cracking up. But I wanna just tell you something, and I want to make sure I express this sentiment to you. You know, like I said, the show gets heard by all our troops, and as much as they love to hear thank you for their service, all our men and women. Usually I have a co-host with me. His name is Lieutenant General Jerry Martinez, and he couldn't make it tonight, but he's a big fan. General Martinez is a retired Air Force general. He was a 3-star general who was our commander for the U.S. forces in Japan, and he wanted me to relay this to you. He said, you know, when you have men and women who are thousands of miles away from home, and I'm not people who are stationed in Alabama or Texas. I'm talking about in these areas where it's a pretty dark place and the bottom can drop out at any minute. And, they typically work 18 to 20 hours a day. And for the few minutes that they can either watch a TV show or watch a movie or listen to a Styx song, a Dennis DeYoung song, and for a few minutes they can transport themselves home and forget where they are. On behalf of them, I want to thank you for the entertainment value you've provided for decades.
Well, all I can say is nothing could make me happier to know that. You know, when I did that "Show Me the Way" song, and it got connected with the Gulf War, the first of many. Um, it was like, wow, how did that happen? Because I wrote it about my son and his insecurities as like a 10-year-old. But it was something about um, and Babe, I'm leaving. It's about a song about separation. When these people in the armed services, men, women, gotta go, don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Those that kind of music it's a mystery to everybody. It immediately connects us in our souls, like no other art form, to time and place.
It's a universal thing. Yeah.
It's just magic, and like I said, I feel humbled by people who listen and put their life in harm's way to protect me, so I can go get pizza. I think it's a pretty good deal for me.
Yeah. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. The last time we spoke, didn't you say you had some roots in Jersey?
No, I buy my Italian sausage from there at Pat LaFrida's. That's true. It comes in the mail.
Oh my God.
Like Italian sausage, mild with fennel. Ooh, it's very good.
Oh my God, you're too funny. But I want to encourage everybody to go out on and whatever platform you get your music on and pick up Dennis DeYoung's 26 East Volume 2. It's a really great album. This man has been doing his thing for as long as I can remember, and I want you guys to show your love for, if you listen to Styx or if you saw Dennis live, show your love. A lot of these artists, they haven't performed in a couple of years, and you know and it's the best money you'll ever spend, because music will go places that the medicine can't right now, and we all need that, even though it looks like we're coming out of it. But I don't want to. I for some reason, Dennis, I just feel like we're getting lulled into a false sense of security here.
That's why I'm in my house with my wife. I'm going, got that sort of lines that peek out and went, holy Jesus. So there are brave people in the world, and there are idiots. They're all mixed in. You don't know which one are brave or just stupid. So for me, I just need a little more time to take a look, because I'm not going to get joy if they discover that all these concerts that are opening now, people are really getting sick again. That would make, you take this stuff to heart. You really do. And you don't want anyone, the whole idea of coming to the concert is to reinvigorate the soul through music.
Right.
Have a shared communal experience and rejoice in the sound waves.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm anxious for you to get out on the road again when you're ready. And I hope you get to the Northeast. I'd love to come out and see you and shake your hand and say hello. And I'll bring you some sausage if you want. I can deliver it to you personally. You won't have to ship it.
Who doesn't like a good? If you don't like the Italian sausage, I question you in the same way I question you don't like a romantic ballad. Woo-hoo!
That's funny. Oh, as Dennis, before you go, would you do a liner for me? Because you did one the last time, and it was great. But we had an intern here who deleted a lot of our stuff accidentally, and I wanted to choke him.
Yeah, he's no longer there.
No, yeah. Basically, you're going to introduce yourself and say you're listening to Animal House Radio.
Hey, everybody out there, this is Dennis DeYoung, formerly of Styx. You're listening to Animal House Radio, serving the greatest cause in the world, which is to take care of the men and women who protect us here in the United States of America and elsewhere. So thanks, kids.
Thank you so much, Dennis. God bless. Continued success. Say hello to Jim Peterick for me, because we had him on the show, and he was a fantastic guest.
Yeah, it's a big act. He's a jerk.
As always,
one of my best friends. I love him.
No, he's a great, and like I said, if this is your swan song, then thank you for what you did. But I never say never.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right, Dennis. Thank you so much, and thank you all for tuning in. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., please join us as we welcome. This is a rare interview indeed. This is one that's probably our rarest interview to date. If you guys remember the group Technotronic, at 10 a.m. live tomorrow, we're going to have Kid K live here on Animal House Radio with my special co-host, No Filter Paul. So No Filter Paul. So as usual, I'll see you all live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And thank you all once again for listening to Animal House Radio.